Actually, I taught at New Deal for 18 years. So, there we are.
My wife, she has her master's in nursing from Tech, and
Oh.
that's what she's thinking about doing is leave nursing, go back to school, and then be an instructor.
Well, she could teach at the nursing level. I have a former student who has her doctorate in nursing and is one of the professors at the Health Science Center.
Yeah, that's what she's thinking.
Yeah, so, her name's Hollis Franco, so. She's one of those kids I taught dual credit to lots of years ago. She graduated in 2007, 2004. It's been so long. And they're all, the only advantage in teaching high school is that when you have students, they already kind of look like adults.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you teach elementary, you guys, we don't look the same as we did when we were now. Notice the time lag on the screen? Okay. And the red dot up in the corner tells you that it's being recorded. All of my ITD classes are recorded because we're talking high schools. There's always somebody gone for some reason. And we aren't even going to talk about what happens with stock shows in the spring, okay? They're gone. And they're gone for weeks. And, you know, so we record them so that they can watch the classes that way. And so what I'll do is in announcements in Blackboard, I will put a link to YouTube. I have my own little YouTube channel that SPC, I don't have to do the work, SPC does it. Our Blackboard people do it for, well, ITD and Blackboard kind of people do it for me. So when you miss, you can do that. Or you have the advantage, because I teach at 9 and 10 o'clock on Monday, Wednesday, and I also teach right after this. If you can't make class, you're welcome to come to one of the others, because I don't have, the room's not full. It's, I guess I have 6 at 9 o'clock this morning, unless somebody's dropped in the last, I have 6 in the next class, so that's my big face-to-face. I like having students in the classroom to interact with. It makes it easier. I had one student last fall, or in the spring, and she could not get here on time. She was at this 8 o'clock time. She would show up about 8:10 or so, and I'm just like, okay, you need to watch the beginning of the video, because I don't reteach. This is not high school. I don't have to reteach. When you miss something, it's not my job to clue you in, but you've got the recordings you can watch. But you're going to see right now, class is not going to start for a couple of minutes, and it's been recording already for about 3 or 4. So with the videos, you might want to speed ahead. And please don't notice how often I wear black. I just have a lot of black clothes. Okay, looks like they're getting set to be there. Awesome. Good morning. Is that Health Center? All right, cool. My first time to have you guys, so. I'm Ms. Thompson. I'm just waiting for the other schools to kick in. We also have, I've already managed to forget, Wellman Union and Labs Buddy, okay? So, that's cool. There we go. Oh, there's nobody in the room from Labs Buddy. Morning, Wellman. Hello, Coach. Hopefully you're getting copies of the syllabus. Hi, grab a syllabus. And are you Reed or Mason? You're Reed, okay. If you'll just sit at one of the tables over on this side so I can see you. I have a few SPC students in the classroom with me, and all of you who are hiding out of the view of the camera, help me out, okay? So, is that Labs Buddy? Yeah, it's Longhorns. You have to be Labs. No, Labs Buddy was down there. Is that Wellman?
Yeah.
That's Wellman. That's okay. I'll get it set up here. That's Wellman. That's Health Center. Okay. There comes Labs Buddy. I didn't have them last year. I had them the year before. So. Good morning. Do I just have one from from Labs Buddy? Are you my only one? Okay. I don't know who the facilitator is. Nobody's contacted me. I just know I have you. If you could have your facilitator, let me show you my email real quick. Hold on. I'm in the right thing, so let's flip over there real quick. Okay. If I could get her name and your name, it certainly would help. There we go. So can you see the blue address right there where it says P. Thompson at southplainscollege.edu? All of our emails are pretty much alike, okay? I just don't have to have numbers. So if she could send me an email, or whoever my facilitator is at Labs Buddy, I would appreciate it greatly. So that I'll send you a copy of the syllabus and things like that. So, but that's my email. If you want to contact me, that's a good one. So while I've got you here, The other thing I might tell you is, you can send me emails through SPC, but I prefer course messages, because in addition to you guys, I have 3 other sections of ITV. I also have an online sophomore literature class that has 95 Cooper seniors in it. So if you send me, I don't know everybody's names. I will know their names by next semester, because I teach them 1301 and 1302. I teach them both semesters. So I'll know theirs. And I also will have 1302 in this room next semester. So if you like my class, you can sign up for me again, okay? I'm not trying to sell my class, I'm just letting you know, all right? I will be here. This is my only classroom I teach in. So, office over in Building 3. So if I could get that, that would certainly help. But what I want to do really first is I'm going to, I want to talk about Blackboard a little bit and do a little bit of looking in there, because things are changing in Blackboard. So, have any of you gone into the class up front? Okay, I see some heads nodding. The course opened up on Thursday. They've started doing that to help you guys out so that you can get in and kind of see what's going on. And again, you're welcome to bring laptops in class, because our book is an e-text. Nobody bought a book, did they? Okay, it's an e-text, and I'm saving you $30 to $70 by doing that. It's less expensive. And college is expensive enough as it is, except for Rodney, who's going free, because he served in our military. And thank you for your service, okay? My father's an ex-Marine, so, well, my father was. He passed away a while back. So when we go into Blackboard and you go into this particular class, you're going to see almost all online courses, definitely by next semester. This semester, they're all going to have a South Plains College header. We could do whatever we wanted, and they have realized over the past couple of years that we needed to be consistent with access and navigation within our courses, so that students weren't having to figure out how everybody did everything, okay? So when you come in, you're going to go, for me, you're going to go into Start Here. So if you want to look up here right now, and you just log in as a guest. Did you bring laptops yesterday? Okay. I don't know. I'm okay with you having them up in my class, because it will help. Huh?
We weren't allowed to, that's true.
Well, it depends on what the class is, because, you know, it's like a telephone, right? What do? We want to look at the telephone, and a computer screen means you don't have to pay attention to the instructor, right? And you are paying to take the class, except for Rodney, okay? So while we're in here, you're going to look up here. When you come in, you're going to see this South Plains College. You're not going to see, that's an individual banner I have done, but on the left-hand side, this is what the menu is going to look like. You'll have Home, Help, Start Here, Instructor Information, Schedule, Syllabus and Schedule, Announcements, Textbook. That's where your textbook is located. And then the main thing after that is Course Content. That's where all of any documents that I hand out, though I will have copies for you most days, all right? Will be in there. Resources, I think I have the tutor.com in there. We have free tutoring online from 8 p.m. at night till 8 a.m. Monday through Thursday, and then Friday it's from 8 p.m. until 8 a.m. Monday morning. So if you have a document you want somebody to look at, it's available to you. I don't know if it does math, but it may. They may have math in there too. And then My Grades, all right? So just as a quick glance, Start Here. This has all of my sections. I just have one banner for everybody. So if you see a 200 number, that's an SPC section. If the number begins with a 400, it is a dual credit. So technically, you guys are section 208, and the kids at the high schools are section 443. So that's the thing to remember. If you'll give me just a second, I'm going to flip over here, and I just got an email. Let's see. It helps if I'm in the right side. Oh, okay. Thanks for the seating chart, Coach. Appreciate it. Come back over here. All right. The technology requirements are right here. I see an Apple. Do you happen to have Office on yours? Don't. Guess what? You get a free copy of Office when you go to college. So, okay? So if you don't have it, you've got it. And under technology requirements, it tells you everything about your username for SPC email, access to the computer. But at point number 5, because you are a college student, you have free access to Office 365 while you're in college. And so it gives you underneath that on how to get to it, right down in these points. You click on that thing, and they'll ask you for your SPC email, because that proves you're an SPC student. Makes sense, right? So in other words, for you to get the link to download Office, or you can use an online version, your choice, you'll have to check your SPC email. So, and then you also have a chance to get free Adobe Reader, but It doesn't allow you to create Adobe documents, so don't worry about it. And then this is just etiquette rules, and basically, all it says in etiquette rules, I don't do that many discussion boards, because actually, they're all sitting face to face, and we're in here, a room together. But I used to tell students, don't say anything you wouldn't say to your grandmother. Well, they go, my grandmother cusses. I'm like, oh, honestly, okay? And then I'd say, okay, don't say anything you wouldn't say to your minister. They go, we don't go to church. Okay, so just use your heads and don't use bad language or be rude. That's all. Don't write everything in all caps, and please don't put an exclamation point after everything you write. That tends to be one of those things happening, okay? So that's what's in Start here. After a couple of weeks, I'll probably take you to a different page to go in at, which might be this. Instructor information is the next, it and content, course content are two important things to know. If you want to get in touch with me, go to instructor information, because that's where I have course messages at. Used to be I could put course messages on that main menu on the left side. Can't do that anymore. Everybody's has to look the same. So in instructor information, you're going to see information about me. I've been teaching ITV and dual credit for 30 years. Wow, that's depressing. I'm only 14, so that's amazing. Okay. But I give you my office hours through the week, my office phone if you need to get me. I'm not sure why the word course is up there by that. But here's email. Here's an avatar that I made with South Park Studios, as in South Park, Yeah, you can make avatars, and they're free. So that must be my Halloween one. This is the best ways to communicate with me. I'm not going to read all this to you because that's boring. But the best way for you guys to get in touch with me is through what's called course messages right here. So instructor, if you need to talk to the instructor, go to the instructor button. Does that make sense? I'm trying to make that connection in your mind. You can send me messages, and I can read messages from you, okay? And you can read messages that are sent to you. So you click on course messages. Dum, da, dum, dum. Okay, and oh goodness gracious, there's 2 messages in there. Let's see. Let me look and see. Oh, Haley, ITV issues. Okay, that was on Monday. I have no idea. Okay, awesome. Thanks for Haley. You must be at Health Center telling me your mics don't work. Is that right? You're at Health Center. Okay, cool. I appreciate the messages. It shows me you know how to do it. All you have to do is create a message. By the way, I'm going to get rid of that menu on the left-hand side. If you're in Blackboard and you don't see that menu on the left-hand side, if you look over here on this edge, you can see there's a little arrow right there, and a lot of times this line is aqua. If you click on that line, it'll open up that menu for you. But here, to send a message, you go to, you're lucky, the kids that I have, the 95 kids I have at Lubbock Cooper High School for that sophomore lit class, they have to go through a long list to get to me. Just scroll down and you'll see me alphabetically. It says instructor. And then you've got these 2 little arrows. One's, I call it the greater than and the lesser than sign, because to show that I do know a little bit about math. So right there, you just click that and it puts the name over. That means that you can actually send course messages to other people besides me. I don't see them. Our technology people who handle Blackboard can see your messages, but I can't. I only want to see the ones that are addressed to me anyway. So you can also send copies to other people. You need to put a subject in. I'm going to go trouble, turning in work. That's always a good thing to let me know, because if you have something that's assigned and due and you can't turn it in, you need to let the instructor know. So you might go, let's see if I can type today. I was unable to turn in my essay. Okay, now, there's one other step I want you to take. If you have trouble turning your work, go, I am attaching it to this message. You see what you've just done? I don't have to tell you to send it to me in a message, do I? Makes sense. So you come down here, you go to Browse where it has Upload Attachment, takes you straight to your computer. I'm just going to upload that graphic organizer for compare and contrast essays. You click OK, and there it is, and you click Submit. So now, and I go in and check my messages pretty regularly. Obviously, I haven't checked this course today. I was busy working on my courses last night. So I can see I have a message, trouble turning in work, and I can see I wasn't able to turn it in. Here it is right there. I open it up and I have it. And that saves me time and it saves you time. You don't need to see that graphic organizer, I'll be honest. Not yet, anyway. See, there's the aqua line. So that's one thing to remember. If you have trouble turning in work, send me a course message and attach the work to the course message. Don't turn your work in and then also send me a message with your work attached. okay? Don't turn your work in, send me a course message, and send me an email to my SPC email and my private email, all right? Because you have access to it. So you see what I'm saying? Don't overkill, because that's 2 or 3 extra things that I have to do that take up my time when I could be grading, all right? So that's messages, it's not difficult. We'll go, I don't want to be in course messages, I'm sorry, I want to go back to instructor information. I'll get there. So, in addition, there's also a link to email. Now, when you go into email, you have to tell me if it's email, what course you're in. So for the kids at the high school, all you have to do is, if you send me an email, all you have to do is say, this is so-and-so from Crosbyton, this is so-and-so from Wellman Union. Oh, you can just say Wellman, okay. Or Hell Center, or whatever. Or you can just say Hell if you don't want to say Center, okay. LazBuddy's got a lot of letters in it, you might not want to just say from LazBuddy. Okay, but that's what you can do. But see, it sends an SPC email, and it will be from your SPC email address, all right? You don't have to use SPC to send me an email. If you've got a Gmail account, just use your Gmail account, all right? No problems. Or does anybody have any other emails besides Gmail? Oh, iCloud? Oh, okay. And, you can use that. That's fine. It's not a problem, Jackie. It's okay. I mean, I'm not upset, But just be sure that you check for responses from me. And I will try my darndest to respond within 24 hours, okay? So now I went into syllabus and schedule. And you're going to see right at the very top is a copy of the syllabus, which you should all have access to. Underneath that, we talk about course calendar. Syllabi in all your classes are important. But the course calendar is something that I've never used that much, and I'm all excited about it. And this tells you how to access it, but even better, I gave you a link. So you just click on calendar, and it'll be specific to this class. It'll be specific to you. Hi, are you Mason?
Yes.
If you'll grab one of the syllabi and just come sit at that table or one of these two, okay? On this side so I can see syllabus, okay? He's going to be our tidy person, okay? Oh, wait, I just got sorry. I have a former student that used to do the early morning news for KCBD. He took a job in Waco, so I texted him this morning that it wasn't him, that I missed him. So he just texted me back. Sorry. All right, so when you go into calendar, under schedule and syllabus, you're going to see, here we are, here's the 31st, it's highlighted. And then right over here, wow, Ms. Allison, that's not all our classes. No, that's not all your classes. That's all of my classes this semester, what's due. So in addition to you guys, there's, I've got 4 other sections, okay? For you, it will only show classes where people are using the calendar and have their stuff due for Blackboard, okay? So that's what's happening there. And Mason, just to give you a heads up, can you see on don't look up now. Can you see how there's a red dot on that one screen that has the split screen? That tells you that this class is being recorded.
Oh.
So if you miss class, you can always go in and watch the recordings, okay? So if you want to watch the first 10 minutes or so, you can, and catch up on what we're talking about. But this is really handy in here, and what you see over here for me, these are all the courses I have ever taught for South Plains College. So I went through and took off all of those things, so all it leaves is, this semester for me, these 5 classes. And I don't know why they're all red, but they are, so kind of makes it odd. But you have the ability, so now you have a visual of when assignments are due. That's things that you get grades on, okay? It's not if you should have read something, all right, which is what's really on the syllabus. But as we go into September, you can see I have a lot of things due on Fridays, particularly for you guys, because community college accreditation requires that students are in class for 2.5 hours a week. Well, you're only in here for 100 minutes, so we're shy 80 minutes or so. How we get around that is I try to have, most weeks later on in the semester it gets less hectic. I have something due on Fridays normally. Like you might have a paper due, you might have drafts due, you might have quizzes to take. For instance, you have quizzes to take this Friday for this class. You have to read chapters 1 and 2 in the ebook and then take the quiz, okay? Quiz, and there are individual quizzes on them. They're only worth 15 points, so it's not like they're killers, but okay. So what you're seeing is all of my classes there. But that's handy. let's go back to, that's all. Announcements, this is where you will be able to find, later on today, I will have, when you click on announcement, it will show you all of the announcements for the course. Though a lot of times what happens is, if you have phone alerts, those announcements will show up on your phone, if you've got Blackboard downloaded on your phones, okay? That's why I don't have it on mine, because every time anybody sends me a course message or turns something in, it sends it to me, and it drives me crazy. All right, and it's just too much. I'm like, I don't need to know that so-and-so from, New Deal sent me something, okay? I can check that on my computer. But announcements, what I'll do later on today is they'll send me a link. The people with Blackboard will send me a link, and I will post that in there, and you'll always have access to it. One of the things you're going to notice that I had to put the grade breakdown to determine your grade in this course. I omitted off the syllabus, and so it's right here. It's pretty easy. The next statement is, it helps tell me if I forget to punch the computer screen so you can see it, right? I forget to do it sometimes. That's the grade breakdown. The stuff about COVID only applies to SBC students. If you're diagnosed with COVID, you need to contact the health and wellness nurse, and that information is right here, and she'll determine if you can come to class or not, and things like that. And you have to let us know, okay? Because we really don't want to contaminate other people, okay? And 12 more deaths in Lubbock in the past few days. That's crazy. And then welcome to English. So that's what's going on in there. Textbook. Let's talk about this. When you go in, you're not going to see what I see. I see all of my copies of the textbook for this class, which is Albright and Langen's College Writing with Readings. So you can see there's section 200, 208. That's you guys. It should automatically just show up when you go in there. You shouldn't see anything else. There's also 443, which is them. So you just click on it. And it doesn't matter for me which one. It's all the same book. It's just they have to separate it by section because it shows it differently. You click on this. It is an e-text. You can opt out of this, and I have that information in your syllabus. But when you do that, the cost goes up $40 to $60, all right? So, my bad. I obviously was in the book looking at stuff. So when you go in, you'll have a main menu. So click on Table of Contents. It gives you information. You don't need to worry about the cover, title page, copyright. I actually have a hard copy of the book sitting right here. So if you have a laptop, when we will be doing some work in class with the textbook, you'll have access to your textbook that way. So that's what I'm saying. You can bring your laptops and use them in here, okay? But when you get down here, you've got Part 1 essay writing. These parts are like big units within the textbook. And so when you click on Part 1 essay writing, the first thing you are supposed to read are Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. So you can click on an introduction to writing, okay, or you cannot click on the arrows. I'm going to get rid of the table of contents very carefully. If you click on the arrows, you can see it's essay writing. That's just the first page. Here it takes you to the first chapter. So the arrows take you to chapters, not pages. To see pages, you just scroll. And you're going to look and go, oh my God, that's 50 pages worth of reading. No, it isn't. There's a lot of stuff like this in it. When you're reading a textbook, you read textbooks differently than you read something that's an essay or fiction. Because there's headings, there's subheadings, there's bulleted lists. That's what you look for. And there's also exercises in this book. So the chapter, it tells you what it's going to be, what you should also get. There's a picture. I'm not sure why you have somebody who looks like a park ranger. And then there's a sample essay. Here it gives you some main points it's going to cover, point and support in a paragraph, and then it has some readings. You can read those if you want to. If you don't read them, you're not going to hurt my feelings, because I'm more interested in that you get the main points about writing, okay? Here's an activity. You don't have to do it unless you don't feel confident, your TSI scores were a little low or something. It might not hurt to do some of the exercises, but you don't have to. I'm not going to give you these as an assignment. But what we might do is we might work with some of the essays in here during the time in class, which is why you would need the books, okay? But, for instance, there was that sample, The Hazards of Moviegoing. Here's a copy of The Hazards of Moviegoing as a finished essay. And I will have to tell you, several years ago in an online class, I had a student who plagiarized this. But instead of being The Hazards of Moviegoing, it was going to the restaurant in New York City. All the points were the same in the essay. Having trouble finding a parking place, food on the floor. I thought, could you not change it up a little more, okay? I'm just being honest, yeah. It's plagiarized, so, and we're gonna talk about that. And so there we go. Parts of an essay, here's another exercise, supporting paragraphs, another exercise, and we're up to page, you can see there's a lot of stuff in here that doesn't require in-depth, you're not gonna have to read it, so you can skim it. But you will be taking a quiz over the chapter, and I don't know how readily you can have the book open and take the quiz at the same time, so, all right. But the quiz is only worth 15 points. So that's your textbook. If you ever get lost, just click on this and go to table of contents. Okay, and so say I say you need to be reading or doing exercises on page 372, so you can just punch in the page numbers. I have no idea what this page is. It's something about some kind of writing exercise, it's not even grammar, okay? So that's what's happening there. I'll get out of that, that's the textbook. That's saving you money. If you opt out, again, you have to go let the bookstore know right now, or after this class, okay? Go out of there. No. There we go, textbook. Okay, so now we're gonna go down and look at course content. One of the things that they have discovered, or this is what they tell us, that we're organizing the course by weeks. I used to have units for each of the papers we wrote, and now you're just gonna have a week. So you click on week 1, and you're gonna see that it says, on week 1 it says, 8:30 is welcome. Am I in the right section? It should be 8:31, sorry. That's the wrong first week right there. We're at welcome syllabus over your e-textbook discussion board. I'll need to fix that, obviously. So we're actually, those first two are combined. And then, you know what I did? I copied it from the wrong syllabus. That's what happened. Let me show you very quickly what I can do. Let me open up your syllabus in Word. I'll fix that right away. I can't copy from a PDF, so that's why I have to do it this way. When I have to create the syllabus for 2 different schedules, so. Oh, that didn't work, did it? I'll get that fixed right now, so we don't have to worry about it. Edit. This is what we have to do for everything, so. All right, now you have the right one in here. I don't know about your syllabus, it may be wrong on the, is it wrong on the syllabus, or is it right? Yeah, it's right on the syllabus, so it's just on that. Because I copied from my Monday, Wednesday class into this one is what I did. I apologize for that. All right, so there you can see 8:31, that's how fast it is. If I turn it off, this is how it looks when you guys go in, okay? There's a writing process PowerPoint. I'm probably not going over that, okay? Formatting documents for class is important. I'll talk about that more on Thursday. Paragraph handouts, because that's what we're going to be dealing with. And here's an introductory discussion board. That's one of the things that you have to do this week. Discussion boards, you just click on it, you create a thread, and you're going to answer these 5 questions in the thread. So you just go, about me, but if if you're familiar with Blackboard, it shouldn't be a problem. What was the favorite toy? What was my favorite toy? 1. My favorite toy was my Barbie dream house. And you just go on and answer all of the questions. I'm going to stop right there so I don't spend that time. And then you click submit. So what you're supposed to do with the assignment for this discussion board that's due Thursday or Friday is you're going to respond to 3 other people. And it's for extra credit, so you now have extra credit points coming, okay? There won't be a lot, but I'm hoping I'll have about a total of 50 extra credit points, which is pretty good. I'll just tell you, it'll help you do it. So you click reply, and you're going to say, oh, I just love that too. I wish that was mine. You're going to respond to somebody. And I'd prefer if the kids at Health Center don't respond to kids from Health Center. And obviously, Laz Buddy, she hasn't got anybody there to respond to. And the same for Wellman Union. Okay. So, but there's enough people in the class that you can respond to somebody else, okay? And you just respond to it and you click submit, and there it is. And I will only see it after you have done your original posting and answered the questions and responded to 3 other people. So you have to have 4 postings in there before I can see it to grade. So that's the discussion board on week 1. I need to go to course content, see. So instructor and course content are your two main areas. As we go on down, there's, I'm gonna go back to my view so that you can see, when you look here, all of a sudden now at the bottom, there's chapter 1 quiz. It will open up Friday morning at 7 a.m. and it will be open to midnight, because do you guys have jobs? Oh, I know Rodney doesn't, but if you have a job, I'm trying to accommodate you, okay? And it's open till midnight, so you have 17 hours to take 17 hours to take it. The kids at the schools will probably take them during class. But you have 2 quizzes, and you also have something else too. You have a personal paragraph that you have to turn in, which we're gonna cover on Wednesday, which is not that much. It's 8 sentences, okay? It's not a big deal to get panicked about. And that's what it looks like. When you go into, and all 16 weeks are in here, but I don't have all 16 weeks, the information in all of them. I only have through week 6. That's what I was doing last night. It took me about an hour and a half to get week 5 and week 6 put in for all 4 courses. So, you're gonna see, and these should be right. So you can see there's lots of stuff in there. So when you miss class, you do have access to handouts, okay? So that is course content. Resources talks about the tutoring service for SPC, and there's actually a link. I also have links. I've got tutor.com in there and Purdue Owl in there twice, so that should be good. You shouldn't be able to miss it, right? I'll have to delete some of those. And then the last one is My Grades. This is important because what this has, it'll give you all of the stuff, and you can see this is just 6 weeks worth of stuff in here right now. But it will let you know what your grade is, what your point total is in this class. That's how I have it set up, okay? So let's go look at the syllabus now, since we're done with that. And I'm gonna go back up to the beginning. Excuse me, let me get in the PDF. I can enlarge a lot more easily than I can a Word document. You're limited on a Word document, that it becomes so bad you can't always see stuff. But, okay, this is Internet Dual Credit, but we only meet Monday, Wednesday. On Fridays, you have some work due. This week, you actually have some work due on Thursdays, too. I apologize for that. It gets better as once we get past this introductory stuff, having to go talk about writing and doing all those things. It gets better, okay? And most Fridays, what will happen is I will go out and visit my schools. I will drive from here to Last Buddy, which is about 90 miles away. And it's one long, skinny building that has how many total kids are in Last Buddy? Is it over 100? Just nod your, is it over 100 this year? K through 12? Yeah, it is over 100, but it's not past about 120, is it? Okay, all right. Yeah, it's not, and that's K through 12. So you're talking about a small school. Everybody does everything, okay? And the same, Wellman Union's a little bit bigger. Oh, hey, y'all tell Mr. Knatzer hi for me, okay, at Wellman Union? Okay, be sure and tell him hi. We taught across from each other for many years at New Deal, so. Okay, here are my office hours if you need to get me. There's also my office phone number. If you want to call and leave me a message that says, oh, I can't get to school today, my car has a flat tire, I got called into work, whatever your excuse is. If you call and leave it on my voicemail, I don't go over there till after I get done teaching in here, and I teach another class right after this one. So it might be a little late. That's why course message is better, because I'll have that right away. I'll get it sooner. And then my office hours are right after this class, 10 to 12, 11 to 1 on Monday, Wednesday, and then Friday appointments only. Descriptions of the course, not going to read it to you. Albright and Langen, there's your textbook, and this is all about the textbook program, which is what it's called now. You're going to find that there are more and more instructors doing this, trying to save you money, okay? It tells you how to access it, but I've kind of already done that, and opting out. Grading breakdown. There are reading quizzes. There are 8 reading quizzes at 15 points apiece. That equals 120 points. This class works on a 1,000-point scale. All right? So 120 points is 12% of the final grade are those 8 quizzes at 15 points apiece. Then you're going to see there's outline drafts. There's 3 at 75, 25 points, 75, that's 7.5%. So I do a total because it's a lot easier for you to figure out your grade than you asking me to figure your average. Because I know that an A is 900 to 1,000. A B is 800 to 899. You see how it's easier for me? I don't have to do the math to get it to an average. And so when you go in and you see, don't look at weighted total, just look at total. And it might say you have, let's say, 755 points out of 1,025. Don't do an average. Don't figure out what that relation, 755 or 1,025. Just go, okay, I have 155 points out of, I only work with 1,000 because those points after that are all extra credits, so they don't affect that 1,000 total, okay? And you're gonna see all the essays are the same value. I didn't want to have one be more valuable than the other. You have reflective writing, that's gonna happen. I was gonna try to do it over the course of the semester, but I think we're just gonna do it the last week of school, okay? It'll be easier. You have 4 grammar quizzes at 25 points apiece. The grammar quizzes are not tough. When we do grammar, and I have to add in grammar worksheets. Don't have them in the units yet. I've got to get on that. Because I used to have a grammar unit on the side, and they don't have, it may be in grammar resources. In additional or course resources, I'll put the grammar unit in there for you to find. But when you take my grammar quizzes, I think it's much more important that if you can look at a sentence and go, I know something's not right in here, and if you go to a page and it says this, like math, when you have examples, you can do it. Because when you're writing essays, I don't want you to try to do the grammar totally out of your head. Are any of you grammar kings or queens? Okay, I am. Most days. But I still make mistakes. So if you can take the quiz, you get 60 minutes to take it, you can have whatever worksheets you have in front of you and take the quiz. Because I want you to succeed. I think a skill to be able to find the right information and get something correct is much more valuable. It's not the same thing as if I were a doctor and if I were going, oh, I need to look at the sheets on how to remove an appendix. That's not the same translation of skills. You cannot equate writing an essay in grammar with removing an organ from a human's body. They're just not the same, okay? That's a logical fallacy to think they are. So, you're gonna see that there's a final exam worth 100 points. It is an essay, but don't panic, all right? One of the things about this semester is that you're gonna write at least 3,000 words over the course of the semester. So that includes the discussion board, it includes all drafts, it includes anything you write in this class or words for the class. Though we're actually only writing 4 main documents and a small paragraph that's due this week, okay? All right, core curriculum, don't worry about that, that's awesome. Student learning outcomes, and there it is. See, write a minimum of 3,000 words per semester. There's a quick, brief outline of what an A is. I do have a better one that I can give you. I don't have it in there. But you're expected to be on time and in class. I do not take attendance for the high schools. That's too much for me to try to take care of. I cannot punish those kids because, by golly, they got pulled out of class to go see a speaker come in to tell them not to do drugs, right? It happens, right? It does, yeah, you know, you've been in school, you know. So I'm not gonna, or they've got to get out in the spring because they got to go to cheerleading tryouts. Why they always have it during my class, I don't know, but they do, okay? So for you guys, though, you do need to be here. Absence performance policy. I am unusual at SPC because I do allow late work. A lot of instructors don't. But I will accept late work up to 3 days late. So say we had something due on Sunday night, a paper was due on Sunday night, you didn't turn it in until Monday, it's 1 day late. That's 10% of the value of the assignment gone. So if you had a draft of an essay due, which is only worth 12.5 points, if you turn it in to me, then you lose 1.25 points. You lose 10% per day. After 3 days, I won't grade it. Don't try to turn it in. Now, that doesn't mean if your granny dies that I'm going to be a horse's patoot about it. I'm not. But you need to let me know up front. If you let me know after the fact, it's much more hard to be sympathetic. And then if you have 5 people die over the course of the semester, I begin to doubt your word. Okay? And if you all get COVID and nothing gets turned, you still have to turn it in. You know, most people get COVID, don't go in the hospital. I still taught last year with COVID. I did it via Zoom connection from my house, but I taught the Monday after I got diagnosed, and I taught for the next 10 days. It didn't stop my teaching. So if I can do that, you can show up for class. But again, missing assignments are counted as zeros. I got a lot of students. I don't always remember to put a 0 in when you don't turn something in. So if it says, don't worry that if it says 450 out of 500, but we've actually already done 700, I just haven't put zeros in. Only worry about the total number of points, okay? Because the scale we're working off is 1,000, so that just covers me if I don't get it in. Class decorum, we behave ourselves, it's college, it's not like in high school, and golly gee, let's just talk about this. You know, at school, if you're like this, and you're not paying attention to what I'm saying, or if you're like this, I'm showing you some of my favorite poses that I've seen over the years. You're not paying attention to me. You're on your phone, you're trying to talk to the person behind you, because sometimes, some of the high schools I've had up to 24 kids sitting in an ITV class. And it's really easy to get distracted. You're paying for the class. Rodney's going through on the GI Bill? Is that what it's still called, the GI Bill? Okay. So make sure, you know, don't make me have to say, get off your dadgum phones and pay attention, or you're gonna fail, because I will. I will try not to embarrass you too much, but I will. Because I know our phones are so much more interesting than I am. I get it. Plagiarism. All right. Plagiarism is when you turn in somebody else's work as your own and you haven't given credit to the original source. Okay. I'm coming back to me for a second. Last year, one of my schools, I'm not going to tell you which one, but it's not any of those up there. We do our last paper's argumentation, and it is a research essay. Did you guys write research papers in high school? Or you had to go out and find information? And that doesn't bode well, but we'll get past it, okay? Well, you're going to get to what? You get to do it this semester with me, and it helps out. I had a student from one of my schools turn in an essay that their brother wrote for my class 4 or 5 years ago. Because every major writing assignment you turn in is going to be turned in through something called Turnitin, which is a plagiarism checker. So don't turn in work that somebody else wrote for my class. It's going to come up. I've had that happen in that sophomore literature class that has 95 kids in it this semester. I used to have lots of area high schools who were in that class, but Cooper said, we're going to have 95, we only want one instructor, so that's all I have in there this year, are Cooper kids. But, you know, I had somebody from Cooper who turned in a project that somebody in their class had turned in 2 days before him and I'd already graded. And it showed up as plagiarized, okay? So, Turnitin is a plagiarism checker. Give credit, or if you're working so hard to disguise it as being somebody else's work, why didn't you just do the work yourself? That's almost more work. And please do not think that by going in and using the thesaurus will help you. I had a student in 1301 online in summer school who found an essay online about a topic, and she just randomly went through and changed like 5 or 6 words in every sentence. The problem with that is that sometimes they don't work in the context, and it still showed up as plagiarized. So, don't plagiarize, all right? And if you do plagiarize, I will give you 0 on the assignment. If I catch it, I don't always catch them, but there's a good shot. If all of a sudden you write like you're an English professor, you probably are not. I can figure that out. So just watch out for that. Cheating. The only thing you can cheat on in this class are those grammar quizzes, really. And I've already told you, you can use whatever handouts I give you. And if you can have your e-textbook up to whatever part of grammar we're working on, you can use it too. So that's not really cheating, is it? And they're only worth 25 points. See, it's called being smart. Though when you turn in an essay, grammar is a portion of it. It's about 10% on an essay. Code of conduct, let's be respectful. Disability, if you have any kind of a learning disability, you do need to have, if you're at the high schools, have your counselor notify our student services here, and they will send me documentation. If you guys have any issues, the same thing. You have to go to student services, and then they'll notify me about it, okay? Everything's done virtually. Discrimination, I don't discriminate for any of those reasons. Stupidity gets me. I'm going to be honest, because don't we do stupid things? Stupid things, okay. Diversity, I like the fact you guys keep me young. If I use slang inappropriately, because I'm not sure what it means, let me know. I have a granddaughter who's 17, so, but I am old enough to be your grandmother. I have clothes that are older than you, Rodney, okay? Just on you. Campus concealed, you aren't, Mason, you're not over 21, are you? Oh, okay, the only one who can do that's Rodney, so we're not going to worry about it. He probably knows how to do it. Here we have the syllabus. When you go into the syllabus, if you look at this and then go look at those individual weeks, you're going to see it's the exact same thing. I just copied it so that you would have that information. So don't ever send me a course message saying, Ms. Thompson, when is that due? Okay? That's not my job. Don't ever ask a college professor when something's due. You've been given a syllabus, you should have it, look at it that way. And if I change something for a due date, because heaven forbid, last fall, I had post-high school. And post-high school was going to the state football game, right? And their band was going to state at the same time. And there's COVID, so things were going crazy. They put every kid in their auditorium in the high school and separated them by 6 feet so they would not catch COVID from each other. And that's how they taught. They weren't even we were Zoom, they had to come in through a Zoom connection to be part of the class. It was crazy. But, sometimes things happen. Previously, in previous years, I've had bands go to state marching contests, and kids are gone. And because they have it during the middle of the week. They don't have it on the weekend. So I can't punish those kids, and you guys get the benefit when that happens. So that's the syllabus, okay? So that's really all that's going on. And it goes all the way through the end of the semester. So you can see, I've only got 6 weeks done, and I have 10 more weeks to get in there. But you don't need the stuff that's due in week 10 right now, do you? So I can take my time getting it all set up. But when we go in here, you're going to see that your final exam will be due by noon Tuesday, December 14th, to Blackboard. You don't have to come to class. Okay? You can turn it in. Better make sure it gets turned in, because if you don't come to class, I will be sitting in here. They will be in their classrooms. And if you look, it says dates may be changed due to unforeseen circumstances. We just don't know what's going to happen. You just don't. Right? Like last spring, what happened? Was it in February? We had the week break where we all got to stay home because of the weather. Guess who was teaching on Zoom? Guess whose schools weren't showing up, but I was on Zoom teaching. So, because Zoom, I can operate from my home. We never lost internet, so you can do it. Okay? So that is, I'm doing better. I'm getting through stuff. Let's see. Read chapters. Okay, so the first thing you're going to be doing is reading those chapters tomorrow. If you want to go, you can go ahead and do the discussion board. It's not due until a certain date, but you can go ahead and get it done. You cannot take those quizzes until the date. Remember, I showed you when you're in the week. Let me go back. Remember, the course is in-course content, and the quizzes will be, you'll need to go to the weeks. Don't try to think before I would have it, the grammar quizzes were in the grammar unit. No, everything is in the week, okay? So I'm directing airplanes to land, apparently, sorry. But you're going to see those quizzes will show up at the bottom, and then the personal paragraph will be turned in there, okay? So have you guys got any questions for me? Okay. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to talk about. Yeah, I had to bump all of your stuff. Wait a second. Let me go in and make sure those dates are right for the quizzes. Yeah. Actually, my Monday, Wednesday class are taking the quizzes on Thursday, and the discussion board. Yours all got pushed back a little bit because of, I don't have you as much. The other thing I want to talk about for you guys specifically is when you come up on the last week, the week of finals, you do not attend your regular class during the week of finals. You go to the final time. That always seems to be a little, kids will show up for class. No, we're in finals. You're supposed to be in the final for a different class right now. So that's one of those things to realize. I did it so much faster for you guys. That's because I did it twice yesterday, so things are going more quickly. Let's go over formatting documents for class. That's the only thing I probably could stand to do. And that's it. Blackboard does not play nice with Google Docs or Macs. So if you have a Mac, you need to it would be helpful if you went ahead and downloaded the Office 365. But what you can do, you can, in a Mac, save documents as Word documents. Or you can save them as PDFs, or you can save them as RTFs, rich text format. Those are acceptable, because if you turn in a document that is Pages or a Google Doc or a or it's not a PowerPoint, whatever your assignment is, in Blackboard, it will show that it's turned in, but you won't be able to see a preview of it when you turn something in, so you have to watch out for that. So if that's the case, what'll happen is I'll put a 0 on the grade, and then I'll put a note. You go through My Grades, and you click on the link, and you can see, I couldn't open your document, send it to me in a course message as soon as possible. And then I will grade it, okay? But if it takes you 2 weeks to realize that you haven't gotten something, everybody else got their papers back, I didn't get mine. I'll put a 0 in there, okay? So, check your grades. One of those things you need to do is you need to go into the course, probably. Don't just wait and go in, I'll go in next Saturday. You might want to go in case I change the date, something comes up. All right, we'll talk about formatting documents for class. Always double space. And the reason is I will grade by hand. I will print off every paper in this class. You don't have to turn them in. I'll print them off because I know paper and ink's expensive, okay? I print them off and grade by hand because I can grade so much more quickly, and I'm not tied to sitting in front of a computer. That gets boring. Honestly, doesn't it? This is not boring, your phone, but the computer is boring, all right? So, my husband and I are huge Tech baseball fans. We have front row seats, just to the right of home base, home base, good Lord, Patty. And, not too far from the dugout. So I take papers with me and grade. And they know who I am. All the people that work there know me because I'm the lady who carries in the papers to grade. I've actually even had a few Tech baseball players take my classes in the summer to get it out of the way. So, but as a heads up, that's why you need to be careful. Make sure you're using Word or saving it as Word, PDF, or RTF. But we do what's called MLA, which is Modern Language Association. And double spacing is critical because if you turn in something single spaced, I'm going to tag points off because you haven't formatted the document correctly. You can download this document, all right? It's already double spaced. It's already got the heading in there. All you have to do is change your name to whatever your name is. Ms. Thompson, my name is spelled correctly. English 1301, yes, but change the section number. You guys are 208, they are 443. That's all you do. Be sure and change that. Don't turn it in with 159 on it. Believe it or not, 159 is a summer school number for a section, okay? And then the date. The date in MLA is always day, month, year, which is what the rest of the world uses. The U.S. is the only one who goes September 12, 2017, right? So let's get along with the rest of the world. Put a title on it, personal paragraph, and then right here, the document is always double-spaced, and the first line of a paragraph indents 5 spaces. You guys all took the STAR test, didn't you? They've been taking it. The STAR test, particularly if you take it online, and even when you're doing it on paper, they said save your space because you have limited space to write those answers in, correct? So you don't indent anything, and which one of the visual cues for organization is indentation. We're still in class right now. Give us just a couple minutes. Next class, okay? All right? So that's what you have to watch out for. So make sure you indent a paragraph. If you don't indent a paragraph and you were supposed to write, a 600-word essay, your organization's already lost one of the major points. So have a great day. I'll see you all Thursday. And I will be sending out papers for the facilitators to copy. I still need to know who my facilitator is at Last Buddy and how to get them to documents, okay? I'll see y'all then.
Your conference is scheduled to end in 2 minutes.
Well, you're going to miss some instruction. I would recommend watching the video, okay?
On Blackboard?
Do you have class tomorrow morning?
No, ma'am.
If you wanted to come in here, I teach at 9 and 10 o'clock tomorrow morning in here. You could come sit in one of those, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
No problem.
Starting at 9?
It starts at 9. That's why they're only 50 minutes. I teach 9. It's to accommodate the school schedule, okay?
Thank you.
Or you can watch it on video. The advantage is if you're here, I can see what you're doing and let you know what's wrong. Okay? All right. See y'all. Or, let's see. Yeah, I need that email. Bye, Rodney.
Right.
What's your sleeves? You got sleeves on both. What are they?
All kind of stuff.
All kinds of stuff?
Yeah, I got stuff everywhere.
Okay.
meeting, and
Ah, did you enjoy that?
I did, I loved it.
Got to see a lot of culture, didn't you?
Yeah. I got stuff everywhere, I got my legs,
Oh, wow.
legs done.
Well, they don't call them sleeves on legs, what do they call them? Sleeves. Sleeves, okay. I wear my sleeves on my legs. Okay. I'll go ahead and do it.
Thank you.
Come on. Are you good? Yeah, we're still actually. Come on in. And if you'll grab, see the copy pages and stuff right there, so grab those, you can. That's the syllabus for the class, okay? I'm Patty Thompson, instructor. So, okay, it should be cutting off, of course it's not going to, and, no, I'm gonna ask you if you'll sit over on this side. There's 6 of y'all in the class that are registered for it. If you're sitting over there and I'm sitting down.
Your conference
guess
is
what?
now
I
over.
can't see what you're doing over there.
Goodbye.
You could be taking a nap for all I know, so, which is not good. Napping in class is not
Do
healthy.
we need anything like a computer or anything?
If you have a laptop, you're welcome to bring it. It's not a problem. See how it cut off, okay? And that gives you an idea. This class is ITV. The primary focus of this class is to teach small area high schools college English. You know, where'd you go to school?
Crosbyton.
Crosbyton? Oh, okay. I teach the Crosbyton kids. I'm the same instructor they've had. I have them again this year. And it looks like the football season's gonna be exactly like last year already, right?
Oh, yeah.
For Crosbyton. It's sad. Okay, tell me your name.
Julian.
When did you get, oh, there you are, okay. And your name is?
Alexander
Alexandra, okay. Alexandra, where are you from?
Lavakai.
Lavakai?
Kale,
Kale? And where are you from?
Georgetown.
Georgia? How'd you end up here? It's not something that happens frequently.
Well, you didn't want me, so figured I'd come up.
Well, let's be honest. They don't want you unless you're just absolutely perfect, right?
Exactly, it's like
Yeah.
the top 6% of the class now, but I'll be right back.
Yeah, yeah. So because I like teaching with people in the classroom too, we open up my sections to just a few SBC students. So the advantage is that if something's going on and you have issues, you've got me in the class. They have me, we have Post a New Deal at 9 o'clock, which I've taught New Deal. I taught at New Deal for 18 years, college English. I also taught other schools via ITV from New Deal. And then I decided it was time to leave the high school environment and come teach for college, and look what I'm teaching, high school. But I get some of you guys in here too, okay? Have any of y'all gone into the class already in Blackboard? Yeah, it opened up on Thursday. You're welcome to bring laptops to class. In fact, you probably need to do it some days, because some days we're gonna be working out of the textbook and it's an ebook, so that's the only way you can do it. You didn't buy books, did you? The bookstore. Yesterday, my 9 o'clock class, the bookstore sold one of my students something that has nothing to do with my class. I was like, you need to take that back and get your money back. I was like, because it's included in your tuition. That makes it a little bit easier. That particularly if you're using financial aid, it's upfront. It also saves you between $40 and $60, because a lot of books, I'm thinking, this book used to cost about $120, which is freaking ridiculous. Sorry, it's too much. So, I'm still, okay, I'm just gonna make sure. My facilitators, I've had a lot of my facilitators are the same over the course of the last few years. And so my facilitator at Woman Union, who I just had, did not send me Harp. Yeah, there's Woman Union. And of course, Coach, and he's a retired coach, okay? He is at Woman Union, okay. Hi, if you'll grab a copy of that, and if you'll sit at one of these 3 empty tables right here, okay? We're socially distancing, or you can sit at, but just realize the next 2 people who come in are gonna walk right by you and grab that too, so. Or you can sit over behind Kale. Okay, hi, if you'll grab one. Tell me your name. Tell me your name, behind, right there, yes. Huh? Okay. And tell me your name.
Lauren.
Okay, Lauren, if you'll sit in one of these 3 open tables. You can move back there tomorrow. Well, the only thing is that I use the back of the table to put documents on. instead of handing them out. I got into that habit because of COVID. Okay, so that I wasn't licking